40 years, you know, some of us are uglier than others. Some of us started being ugly and never changed. Some of us got uglier as we go.
Quit talking about Norman.
We can start this on roll review.
Absolutely. I'd like to know who the heck is CJ?
No way in the world would I thought that this is going to be the kind of response we got. I mean, there's no way. When Shane and I started talking about this back in March, I thought, you know, we'll get a few back to back, right? I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this. This is most of our customers. And the ones that aren't here are the ones that are lost anyhow. This is great. This is great. We've got a lot of stuff that we want to talk about tonight, but the first thing is that I would like to open the floor up for any old business. Does anybody got any old?
Why didn't the kitchen open on Friday night?
Okay, Brother Penno would like the kitchen open on Friday night. Time?
Indefinite.
Okay.
I gotta hear my baloney.
All in favor?
I took you 40 years, but you got it.
Mr. Wood, Brother Wood.
I think we ought to give all the old big hands for what all they did.
Got anything else going on? I think we've got here just this here. We've got some new business that we're talking about. Do we have any business?
I have new business.
Brother Burberry.
I have new business. I have some new business I'd like to talk to you.
Okay, come on.
How long will it be? I don't know. But, you know, I got my library here, there's a lot in it, so I think I can spend a lot of time talking. Okay? Just say, okay? So, I want to ask a question here. There's a lot of sick leaves in this. Okay? I'm going to ask a question. Does anybody know who Beta Upsilon number 912 was? John McCutcheon.
I'm 843.
I don't count.
I'm maybe.
I was 912. Does anybody have any idea who Beta Upsilon 914 was?
Yes, sir. Larry Irwin.
Larry Irwin.
Hey, ears.
Irwin. So now, does anybody have any idea who was in between 912 and 914? It would have been 9 or it would have been 9.
William W. Sisson.
W. Sisson. All right. John was the leg guy. We didn't like him. Don went to Bill and said, Bill, would you consider taking it over to Sigma Nu? Bill was pretty new at Rose-Hulman, you know, and he was
And naive.
he was looking for extra credit from John Logan. Let's make no bones about it. Yeah, I would consider doing that. So we still have this dilemma. We still have this dilemma that Bill wasn't Sigma Nu, so some folks went to work on that and called the National, and the National said, yep, we'll allow that to happen. So Bill was inducted as a Sigma Nu in the spring of, I believe, 71, and as in between John McCutcheon and Larry Herman, as stated, it was on 913. So I learned some of that through a little research that I did. And then in July, I was down on campus and I found out that Bill was actually, I had gone to Kokomo on business, and I found out Bill was in the hospital, so I thought, well, I'll just drive on down to Terre Haute from Kokomo. So I did, and went to the hospital, and got up Friday morning and went to the hospital at 8 o'clock. I thought, you know, you're always up early in the hospital, you can't sleep.
He brought me a newspaper.
All right. Well, you know.
It was a gift from the hotel we were at.
He's not telling you about the bottle of scotch that was wrapped up in it.
Like you thought it was what's the vodka count.
So I got there and the door was closed, okay? And I thought, oh gosh, I can't go in. But no, you never get any sleep in the hospital. He must be there. So I said to the nurse, I'd like to go see him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Could I go see him? She said, oh yeah, you can go in. She knocked on the door and she said, look, Bill, you have a visitor. And I stood in the doorway and Bill looked up at me and got a big smile and says, Dave Bergner, how are you? Not C.J. Martin's in. So he knows. Okay. So we talked for 2 hours, had a great discussion over 2 hours and covered a lot of ground about the Sigma Nus, and I won't bore you with all those stories, well maybe a couple, okay? So Bill, you know, you all know that he was on a first name basis with the sheriff of Vigo County. That cop kept us out of a lot of jams, you all know that. Got us out of a lot, he didn't keep us out, he got us out of a lot. But then Bill got bought this farm out in the country in Corey, Indiana. And ironically, Corey, Indiana is in Clay County. I think he wanted to get away from the sheriff, but I'm not sure. Just saying. So he buys this old farmhouse and doesn't like the kitchen, crazy things going on in the kitchen, and turn on the faucet, it drains into a metal bucket, things like that. So you all know Brother Smith was a great builder. And so Danny says, well, Bill, I'll help you out. I'll rebuild the kitchen for you. So they get in and start tearing out the kitchen. They tear out one wall and another wall and another wall. And pretty soon the whole back half of the house is torn off. Can't see anything. It's sitting up on, the back half of the house is sitting on 3 posts, open to the broad daylight, okay? And Denny's mom and dad came down to see him. And Denny said, well, come out to Bill and Margie's and, you know, I'll introduce you, see what I'm doing. So his dad gets out there and he sees his house and he's aghast. He's, oh my God. And he doesn't say much to Denny and Bill, but he gets back in the car and he says to Denny's mom, he says, Mom, Denny's gone and destroyed a man's house. The final thing I'll tell you is and I really like this one. I had a couple options on this one, okay? But, and I'm sorry, Santa Tree, but I got to tell this story.
You don't sound very sorry.
I know, I'm not really sorry.
Not like it's new to him. Not like any of us don't know the story.
Stan and Trudy were down here with Jeff. Jeff was on a look-see to Rose-Hulman, thinking about going to Rose-Hulman, and they're going around campus, and they go to Bill's office, and they're sitting with Bill and talking with Bill and just reminiscing and that sort of thing. And so Stan and Jeff get up to walk around campus and do a tour of the campus, and Trudy sort of hangs back, and she goes up to Bill and she puts her arms around him and gives him a big hug and says, Bill, whispers in his ear, says, Bill, I just want to tell you, he's nothing like his dad. So, all these are true stories. So, ladies and brethren, it's my pleasure to introduce the president of Rose-Hulman, Rob Coons.
I got him out of jail one evening.
And you're the only one in this room who ever did that.
I don't believe that.
So Rob has something he wants to say to all of us here, and I think it's pretty interesting.
I'm going to stick to the script so I don't miss a thing. Good evening, ladies, brethren of Beta Epsilon chapter of Sigma Nu fraternity, and honored guests. It's a privilege for me to be here this evening. It's apparent that we have in common a real and sincere appreciation for Bill's service as a supportive friend, a valued mentor, and often a champion of our cause. Throughout his career at Rose, Bill demonstrated a steadfast commitment to our students, where he was for each and all a sympathetic friend, wise and experienced counselor, and yes, I'm sure on one of at least a few occasions, a very observant absentee parent. He served as Rose-Hulman's liaison with industry and your liaison with our faculty and staff, and perhaps at times girlfriends and parents. The defining characteristic of Bill Sisson's persona, as evidenced by this gathering tonight, was his unwavering commitment to our students as individuals. I believe we can bestow no greater honor on a friend or a colleague than that of establishing a scholarship in their name. Really? Bill, Margie, I'm honored to convey to you that the brothers of the Beta Epsilon chapter of Sigma Nu fraternity have established and fully endowed the Bill Sisson Sigma Nu Scholarship as an enduring expression of their appreciation for your service to the fraternity and to our school.
Thanks much. I'm really taken back here.